Hey everyone, it's Mitch from Apature Films, and today I'm going to share with you some tools and techniques I used to create a product commercial with some headphones I had laying around. So with any product commercial, you need a product. I already had a pair of Beats headphones and they look pretty interesting, unlike a lot of ordinary items I had around the house. And they seem like a product that would be on a commercial typically. I didn't have access to an actor or an actress, and while having talent would have been great, it does add extra expense, planning, and scheduling just to start filming. And because I'm a big procrastinator, I felt it was better just to not complicate things and focus instead on adding extra camera movement and a little extra text. For the environment, I chose to go with a black background and a black foreground to give that luxury feel, whereas if I was to have the product in a bright and colorful background, it would have been a light and fun vibe, which isn't a bad idea, it just wasn't what I was going for with this product. To achieve this, I used a black sound blanket, but any cloth or backdrop can work. The black base, I used a turntable with a rectangular piece of black acrylic and a rectangular piece of clear acrylic on top to give it a glossy look. And here's where I ran into some problems. Because the piece was rectangular, every so often I was getting edges and corners into the shot. I would suggest using a circular piece of glass or acrylic and a black cloth underneath to avoid that issue. In regards to the turntable I used, it was more expensive, but you can get away with using some cheaper turntables or Lazy Susans even. But sometimes they can be frustrating and a little wobbly, and in my opinion, it's worth spending the extra money for something that you know works correctly every time so you can focus on other things like getting the perfect shot. With your subject spinning, it adds one element, but without anything else, you're stuck with limited options in post and not many shots to cut to, so I brought in the Edelkrone Motion Kit. In my kit, I just have the Edelkrone Slider Plus V2, the Motion Slider motor for those pushing in shots, and the Head 1 for those buttery smooth panning and tilting shots. So after you have your camera system and product right where you want, you can start positioning your lights. For my lighting setup, I use 3 Godox SL60W lights. They are a great alternative to using Apature 120Ds at the fraction of the cost, and with the same high quality CRI rating and light output. That being said, I still use an Apature Light Dome 2 as one of my light modifiers because of how easy it is to work with and its compatibility with the Godox lights because they both have balance mounts. The first light was an overhead Godox SL60W with an Apature Light Dome 2, positioned right over the product on a C-stand using a go-bar arm to get that right over the product. Having that Apature softbox gave it a great soft source overhead key. For my second light, I used a Godox SL60W with a protective cover that it came with. Reason being is that it had a hole in the center which makes the beam angle very small and controlled. Great for an edge light. I covered that with a CTB gel to add to that blue headphone. For the third light, yes, you guessed it, I used an SL60W at a 45-degree angle to the camera for some extra fill and to add an extra reflection on the headphones. After recording everything I needed, from there, I just pieced it together in Adobe Premiere Pro, added some text on some black background to match with a simple logo, and edited the footage to match the tempo of the music playing. If you found this video useful, consider subscribing. It's a free way to support the channel, and it will notify you of future videos. And thank you so much for watching.